All right, so this first match review tonight comes to us from Rookyru with 722 hours, almost getting that to that 1,000 hour mark where you are fairly adept at the game. I always think it's so funny that we have this conversation because 300 hours you can learn a language, but like a DBD, if somebody doesn't have more than 500 hours, I consider them fairly inexperienced at the game. Anyways, this is really, really special and awesome because the first week of the match reviews, we have the Xenomorph out, which I am a Xenomorph main, so I put a lot of effort into playing this character well and learning this character in the very, very short time that I have been out, or the character has been out. So I am the right person to ask for Xeno advice. So this one will be taking place on the game, which is, despite what Odd says, I still feel is a very, very survivor-sided map just with the palette count. But the good news is that you are the Xenomorph, which means that you have very, very, very good palette utility with your tail. So let's go ahead and take a look at your add-ons and your perk choice. All right, so okay, so I'm gonna say something right away, both with the choice of Bamboozle and the purple add-on that gives you extra vault speed while in crawler mode. You have one of the best utilities of characters in the game to deal with windows outside of, like, you know, Nurse, Blight, Spirit, that sort of thing. Your character puts down people at windows because you just tail whip through them. You just tail whip through the windows. So while this add-on combo, like the add-on combo into the Bamboozle, is cool, it's not really like
joining random DBD streamers and giving them good food ideas. Today's idea is mac and cheese with bacon bits ice cream. No, incorrect.
Thank you for the 1 bit, but no. Ice cream and mac and cheese, disgusting. Good try though. Good try. Yeah. Anyways, while this is a fun gimmick, it's not really that optimal. So don't. You can run this. It is fun, but just keep in mind that it's not optimal. The emergency helmet's really, really good because obviously that reduces your stagger while being affected by the turrets. Add-ons I would run in place of the purple add-on, the purple vault add-on. Probably their best add-on, Kane's helmet. Gives mangled on tail hits, which you should be trying to go for as many tail hits as possible on Xenomorph, so adding mangled to that, always good. Something else you can put here is Lambert's star map. That way you have double turret protection. Lambert's star map gives 2 meters of nerf distance to turret flames, so you're even farther away. Also, an add-on I see not particularly talked about a lot among people that are playing Xenomorph so far is the Ovomorph, the brown egg add-on, is actually pretty good. The recovery, because you want to be in your power as much as possible, so just that, like, it gives you an immense amount of recovery for a brown add-on. It's pretty nice. It's just that, like, you know, emergency helmet and Kane's helmet and stuff like that are just better add-ons. So those are your kind of like add-on choices you're looking at. The rest of your build, Pop's fine, Deadlock's fine. Brutal, kind of, yeah, Brutal I can get because a lot of people will pre-drop against the Xenomorph. Obviously helps you deliver your Pop more. In terms of Bamboozle, I'd probably swap it out for either an info perk or some sort of like fun chase perk. So that's the one I would switch out there. Anyways, let's go on. Big hissy boy in a big hissy world. Good idea to enter. This is the thing that I will tell you already, since this character is fairly new, is info perks, while good on any killer, kind of have a certain level of diminishing returns on Xenomorph because you have built-in info just by going into your tunnels, because if you're going under someone, you can see their footsteps. So, like, you already have info built into your base kit, so keep that in mind when you're, like, you know, wanting to maybe like pound on the info perks, as that you kind of have info in your base kit. And I would highly encourage you, if you are interested in playing and getting better at Xenomorph, is to be doing what this person is doing, is kind of enter a tunnel right away and just kind of like scan the map. Like, do the same thing you would do at the beginning of a killer match, where you would look at the, you know, the upside down triangle ahead of you and check that space, but just do it underground and get confirmed value out of seeing the footsteps. So yeah, do that. Okay. You hop out without seeing anybody. I'm kind of confused about. Another good thing is you can actually hear gen noises through the ground. So that's even if you don't necessarily see the footsteps, you are able to hear the gen noises being worked on through the ground. So that's another way to tell where people are. You kind of hop out here without seeing footsteps or hearing anything, which is kind of just like a weird choice. I would have just stayed in the tunnels until you found someone. I was just saying that tunnel so you found somebody. Yeah, because now you're just kind of wandering around aimlessly. Which you shouldn't be doing with a character that has info in their base kit. Yeah, go back in there. You've wasted a lot of time already, but at least you realize your mistake. Yeah, see? Wait for that, and then come out. Yep, and go after them. They went the other way. Let's say they went the, yeah, there you are. Jump. Bum, 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 bum. I can't believe people hate this chase theme. I actually think it's pretty good. Your tail sap range is only, or tail stab range, I guess it would be. It's only 4.8 meters. Yeah, your tail sap is only 4.8 meters. It's not nearly as long as Nemesis's tentacle, so you were not going to hit that no matter what. What that Ada did was the smart thing there was to drop the pallet pretty early. That way she could make the distance get outside of your tail attack distance. But keep in mind, you only have 4.8 meters, so you're not as efficient as Nemesis in this regard. So I wouldn't have gone for that. So you stay on her. Good tail strike. Good job. Unluckily, you spent a lot of time in this match just kind of like wandering around with no clue where anybody is. Match time is gen time. That's kind of like why you're gonna probably end up in a really rough mid game here. Is because of that. Because you spent so much time in the middle of the match just kind of like doing whatever. Good job. You're also, this is another reason why like the meatpacking plate in particular has like almost no windows. So now you're down a perk slot and down an add-on. And it's just, so you're just like, that I wouldn't have brought anyway. So it's just something to think about. Yeah, you should have just tailed. You just should have just used your tail there. Almost, I like the idea. He was just very slightly out of range. You should have thrown that. There you go. Good patience. Good patience. Perfectly played. Why did you walk all the way around the pallet and then kick it? You could have just kicked it and walked through. That's interesting. I don't know what that person was doing. Maybe they were going for a flashlight save or something. Game got a little choppy there. Okay. Game is having some trouble. Yeah, good job. You used your pop. Pop is a really, really good pick on Xenomorph because Xenomorph can get some very, very quick downs. So any oh no. Oh, you fell for that. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing survivors do on this map. Be careful for people trying to, like, hole you there. Yeah, perks like Pop are really good on Xenomorph because you get some very, very quick double tap downs. So, perks like Pop that just allow you to, you know, get a lot of value off of, getting successive downs are very, very good. Pain res, pop, stuff like that. Things that reward you for having chase. You know Nia's here, right? Yeah, you heard her. But you're letting that save happen uncontested when you knew Nia was there. There was no reason you should have let that save happen. Yeah, and she has balance. Yeah, you shouldn't even... You let that save happen uncontested for, like, no reason. You could hear her very, very loudly going, oh, oh, oh. You shouldn't have let her get that save. Not when you had such a bad early game. You kind of can't afford to give away pressure like that. You kind of just can't. Worried about mine? Why? Why'd you be worried? Only serves to help. I would not break these. I would not break these. Because this just gives survivors better access to the gens on the other side. This does not benefit you. I would just go around. These doors I leave up. Yeah, because this room is especially this room is a corner. This room is a big, like, after that palace con, this entire room's just a dead zone. But now you've opened it up, so now they can leave the room for free. Don't open the source. This thing called really bad. Isn't that the point of match reviews? So I can watch and tell you how to improve. Give you advice. And that precisely the match reviews are for. Good job interrupting the heal. Good job. Yeah. Good, good. If she wants to run into you, that's not on you to, like, play nice. That's her fault. You shouldn't have done that. Punish her for that. You should have hit that. You should have hit that. I think it was because you were getting slowed down by the, thing. Yeah. Or you just got McLean. You just got auto-aimed. You definitely should have hit that. Yeah, I would definitely stay on the air here. Don't start a fresh chase with somebody at 2 gens. Like Ada, who you haven't even seen. Yeah, you knew she had balance. You saw it earlier. You didn't commit to her. Why? Yeah, that's not good. Because now you're just kind of wandering around trying to find somebody. You should have committed to that, Nia. And you knew she had balanced landing, too. Because you saw it earlier, so you shouldn't have swung at that at all. You knew it was about to happen. Who are you swinging at? Your hopes and dreams? Ada was a free hit there. I don't know why you would try to swing on the other person. Okay, this pal is not the best. You could have hit her there. You didn't. Okay, so while I agree, especially when the character's brand new, is you should be going for as many M2s as possible. That was just an easy M1. If you forewent just the easy M1 down to go for a tail whip hit, like you should have just M1'd her there. You could have just M1'd her there. Yeah, because now gens are getting done. I'm also confused why she left that, but hey. You could have tail whipped that. That was an easy tail. That was an easy tail attack. Now you're not doing it when you should. She was within lunging distance and you choose to vault the window? What in the bamboozle brain did I just witness? She was within lunging distance. She was right next to you and you said, I'm gonna vault the f***ing window instead. Huh? Were you just not paying attention? You could have just hit her. Okay, well. You end up getting her anyway, but at the cost of extra time that you should have wasted. Yeah. Yeah. This is not surprising for me. Yeah, at this point you gotta just like guard the hook. And it isn't even as powerful as it used to be because there's no such thing as hook grabs. So you kind of gotta like catch somebody early, like Nia here, and just like injure them. But yeah, if you can't do that, it's kind of just a downhill from here. Yeah, I mean this is fine at this point. Like you know, because of hook grabs no longer being a thing. Like. There's no reason to just chill at the hook, honestly. Which I guess in a sense is a... Like, you can just force trades and keep forcing them to trade until you get your confirmed kill. You can do that, but, like, honestly, there's no reason not to just chase people anymore in the in-game. Or at least there's much less of a reason not to. Like I said, you can sit here and force trades, but if they're only ever going to be trades, because hook grabs are gone. In that situation where I don't know if you knew they were camping the pallet, but you could actually hit them. It's something you can do with Pyramid Head, something you can do with Huntress. With Xenomorph, it's a little bit more finicky, I've noticed. But if you actually pre-send your projectile attack, it'll often go through anyway, even if you end up getting stunned. So I would have readied your tail attack a little earlier. That way it becomes active sooner. Just like with the Huntress Hatchet or Pyramid Head, Rites of Judgment. So you can do stuff like that, so that's what I would have done there. Oh, by the way, just a little small thing that you saw there that a lot of people don't know about this character that I've been telling people all day. When a turret box is open, if they don't grab it yet, you can actually break it. Yeah, if somebody opens a box but doesn't end up actually taking the actual turret, you can smash it because there's no way for the survivors to close it. All they can do is walk over and pick it up. But it is just sitting there. So you can just go break it and lower their turret count, which is very, very funny. And you definitely should, if not just for the hilarity of it. If not just for the hilarity of it, you should definitely do that. Good tail attack there. You're doing the best you can, which is basically just injuring as many people as possible. So you can... Yeah, she's going to make it. I would have gone after the other Ada, or just tunneled the person you just got off hook, because you're not going to be able to beat these people to the exit gate. It's just not a thing. Yeah, you were not going to beat either of these people to the exit gate. You kind of just... That hit, that's funny. You weren't going to beat either of these people to the exit gate, so that's like... I would have gone after one of the other two. Yeah, now they're all out. Yeah, now everybody gets out. Okay. I can look at their perks, but honestly, their perks weren't the reason that... The perks were not the reason that you lost this. There are three things I'm going to tell you in terms of your main takeaways as the things that kind of caused this match to go the way that it did. The first thing, and the thing that kind of hurt you the most that I noticed was that your early game was really, really poor. Your early game, you just kind of like didn't find anybody for an extremely long period of time. Especially on a character like Xenomorph, where they have built-in tracking at all times, there's no reason you shouldn't be getting into a chase fairly early in the game as Xenomorph. There are certain situations with like other killers where like you spawn in the middle of the map, and at that point it's kind of hard to tell the far away spot where the survivors spawned, and it's a little awkward, and then you lose a gen. But like Xenomorph can just go under the map and use their footstep tracking ability to find people. So there's kind of like no reason for you to like do what you did, which was kind of crawl around, pop out, crawl out, pop out without seeing footsteps or hearing gen noises from beneath in the tunnels. So that was just that is the thing that hurts you the most. Is because essentially you just quite literally you were in the tunnels. So quite literally you weren't a map presence. You weren't on the map for almost the entire first part of this game. So they just spent that time on gens. What I would have done differently, especially on Xenomorph specifically, is like stay in the tunnels until you either see footsteps above you, or you go under a gen and you hear gen noises and pop up on that. Yeah, but that's like the main thing that hurts you here, and the main reason you lost this game is because you basically didn't apply any pressure for the first part of this game. The second thing, and the thing that hurts you more than you probably think it did, was letting Nia just run in and get that save on Felix uncontested was very silly. You heard her injured and right next to you, but for some reason you walked over to like go after one of the Adas, and there was kind of no reason to do that when you knew that an injured person was right next to you, much less an injured person going for the save. Even if they weren't going for the save, the injured person is always an easier chase than the healthy person, but they were also routing their way to the unhook, which is something that gets rid of your pressure, which is having somebody on hook. So not only did you not go after the easiest chase, you also let them undo your pressure, which was kind of just like no reason to do that. So you definitely should have contested that save and forced one of the other Adas to come in and get it, and then maybe get a hook on Nia. So, yeah. I think the third thing here is like... I think the third thing here is you just kind of like... It's kind of hard to talk about, because it's hard to qualify. It's just... There were times where you're going for M1s that were easy, are not going for M1s that were easy and trying to go for your M2 and then missing. And there are other times where an M2 would have easily solved your situation and you chose to try and like follow them for an M1 instead. So I would put more effort into learning what are good times to use your M2 versus your M1. Good time to use your M2s is anytime they're in any sort of like locked animation is obviously a really good time for that. Like that's a good time for that. Yeah, so like whenever they're going over the window vault, they're going over a pallet vault, they're throwing a pallet, good time to use your M2. If they're just like in front of you, it's always better to use your M1. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, those would be my 3 takeaways for you right away.